Hey guys, this is What If here. I've been meaning to make this video for quite some time now, and I think it's very important that somebody in the NASCAR gaming community speaks up and addresses all these problems that the NASCAR Heat Evolution game has in terms of just lack of content. Because I don't think anybody can really sit here and defend the obvious lack of content that this game has, and I really want to bring them up and address it so in future NASCAR Heat Evolution games they can put this stuff in. A lot of this stuff is just basic things, and it's just things that clearly need to be in this game to make it more worth your buck, more worthwhile. So that's why this video is titled, the basic needs for a NASCAR game. And I really encourage everybody to share this video around on Twitter, share it to anybody that works at 704 Games, and just really just get their attention. We need to make some polite noise and and really get this message across. Because I was watching D-Casting's video a while back, and he was really encouraging people to do so, and I felt inclined to do so because I do have obviously a bigger following compared to his account. So I thought I might as well speak up and just address these things that need to be in the game. So I have a list here that I'll read off here because it took me some time to really think about everything I needed to address and everything. So the first thing I have is give us career statistics menu for our stats in career mode of the game. Stuff like the year, total starts, poles, wins, top fives, top tens, average start, average finish, points, like overall points you accumulate throughout your career, and just yearly standings and laps led. Things like this make statistic freaks and anybody just enjoy doing career mode and doing things year by year, and I think it's absolutely important to have that. It's just a menu. I'm not asking for a revolutionary game like reinvigorating the whole genre itself. It's just a menu for stats. So it makes things more worthwhile. Stuff like that is an absolute necessary for a longevity of a game like this, for any sports game. One thing that's very interesting about the driver menu in NASCAR Heat Evolution is that it's just random. It's not in any sort of order. So I think what would make it a lot easier is to have a driver menu in numerical order. So it goes from, Jamie McMurray to Brad Keselowski to Austin Dillon, and just go from, the lowest number to the highest number all in one order instead of going through it randomly. I think that would be something minor, but something that would make it easier to go through things, and it's something that can be easily done. So please do that. Even if you want to, you can even do things where it's just like, you can organize it. Instead of, you can have it in numerical order, you can go by team orders, manufacturer order, anything like that. Stuff like that I think would be nice to have. You can also have driver stats on the driver menus for the driver's stats up to that year of release. So if you go to a driver, it'll be a little thing for driver stats, you click on it, and it'll show all the stats and everything. Stuff like NASCAR Thunder 2004, 2005 Chase for the Cup, NASCAR Thunder 2003, NASCAR Thunder 2002 has stuff like that. So it would be very nice to have that kind of thing in there, so you kind of have an idea of the driver that, driver stats up to that point. And it's something that you can even just go up on Racing Reference and look at, but it would be nice to even have that in the game to show, the player, what their stats are. Another thing that'll be very nice to have is once the race ends, let the player have the option to scroll through the field, show laps led, qualified, finish, and points. You could even just look back at old NASCAR Thunder games, and there you go. Things like that I think are very important, that the player has the option to scroll through the list instead of waiting for it to just load and just go by the game's demand or well-being, I would assume. So stuff like that, it would be nice. I mean, Tennis games did that, and it's just a minor thing, but it's got to be addressed, because if they're going to do that, then it's just going to be very very inconvenient. Also, it would be nice to know the points and everything. So that's something I'm sure you guys can easily do and fix, because that's simple. Also, rotate the camera around the car like the right stick on a controller for a PS4 and Xbox One, It's something NASCAR games have had since 2008 on the freaking PS2. Well, basically since 2007, so I think you guys can easily do that. So have a rotating camera. I mean, it's just something that most racing games nowadays have, and not having it just makes it really feel out of date. Because that's, and also it's a waste of the controller because that right analog is not being used. So even on that aspect, you're not utilizing everything on the controller. So that's something I think you guys can easily put into the game. Also, can we please have a track map for the game? I mean, I think NASCAR Game since like 1998 had that. I mean, please. I don't know. It's amazing that this game didn't have it. I mean, it didn't even have a Dirt Daytona either, which is very surprising. But it, please, I don't know if that's asking for too much, but please add a track map. And if you guys don't want to see the track map on the screen, then this next thing I'm going to be mentioning here will be able to fix that issue, no problem. If you have an issue with the track map, you can have a setting to always show certain things, like tire wear damage, lap info, leaderboard, track map, stuff like that. So you can always have something to be displayed on the screen at all times. And if you want certain things to be shown or not shown, you can always mess with that on a specific HUD menu button when you pause the game. It's something that I think it will be nice to have instead of clicking the A button to flip through it, because it also can distract players from, racing, the core focus of the game, racing. So though it was in Dirt Daytona, that is a little bit of a nitpick, but it would also make displaying things much more convenient and easier than just clicking through buttons to find stuff. In career mode, can you also add a trophy case showing your winnings under like a trophy menu in career mode? Something like that, again, would be just very nice to add to the game and show off the winnings that you've got through the career. It would be something, it would be nice to see and look, because you would think you want to show off the renderings of the trophies you did in the game instead of it just being a one and only thing. When you win, that's it, until you win again. But I think a trophy menu would be nice just for that. And also, it's just a menu. I don't think that's asking a whole lot for that. Another thing that I think is just amazing that they didn't include, because I think every NASCAR game since 2002 has had this, but have us be able to do a victory lane celebration / burnout when you win a race. It's amazing that when you play this game and you win a race and nothing happens. You just get text says congratulations. We are in a day and age where stuff from 15 years ago had more content in it than this game. Something like this, I'm just amazed it's not in there, and I think it's something you can easily put into the next game, for crying out loud. So this one might be asking for too much, but a victory lane celebration showing the guys celebrating in victory lane would be also something nice. I'm not asking for like a 20-minute celebration thing. NASCAR Thunder did it for like 45 seconds. Something like that would be just fine. So it would just add a little bit more depth and a little more to the game itself to have a victory lane celebration show. It means something when you win a race. Another thing that always baffled me on why they didn't include this is caution replays. Please add caution replays to the game when a caution comes out so we can see what the wreck was for. Because in the game, when there's wrecks, sometimes we don't even know what caused them or how they even happened unless we're right in front of them. David Land did bring up a good point in one of his playthroughs on NASCAR Heat Evolution, that not seeing the actual caution replays is simulaic in a fashion, because when you're racing in real life you don't have a caution replay to look at, but there should always be that option to show cautions or not be able to show them. I think in future NASCAR games they absolutely have to show caution replays. It just baffles me that they didn't include it, and I think you guys can easily put that in the game, and I think it'll be much appreciated along with everything else I mentioned. So please add in caution replays. Now this one might be asking for too much, and if it is, I don't mind, but I think free DLCs for paint schemes would be something very nice. We shouldn't have to pay nearly $50 to $60 on paint schemes for the game. It doesn't add anything to it, just adds paint schemes. I appreciate that you guys are doing it for free. A lot of them are, for like Toyota and stuff, and that's fine. I obviously purchased them because they're free. Why not? $50 some odd for paint schemes and everything for the DLC is absolutely insane. and I don't think it should be even that much. I think it should be free for all of it. What should be a costly DLC is something like David Land mentioned in his NASCAR Heat playthroughs, is that have it so you can buy a track like an old version of Homestead, Mid Ohio, Road America, or have costed DLCs for fantasy drivers or legendary drivers like Davey Allison, Alan Quickie, Dale Earnhardt, Cale Yarborough, Richard Petty. Wouldn't you want to have something like that? I'm sure people will pay and go out of their way to get Dale Earnhardt DLC, cars and stuff. I'm sure that's something worth investing something into, and that's the best thing to do in that case, is something like that. On the back of the box for NASCAR Heat Evolution, it says authentic rules and officiating, but the game does not quite have that, because you can go below the yellow line at Daytona and Talladega and not get a black flag. Please implement that into the next game, because that is a rule, a part of NASCAR, and it should be enforced. It's something that is in real life NASCAR, and it should be in this game if you're going to advertise it as simulation-esque and authentic officiating rules and everything. Also, another rule that should be enforced in this game is changing lanes on restarts, and when you do that you get a black flag for it. So that's something that's in NASCAR, and it should be in this game as well. I don't know why it's like that, but that would be very nice to have that. Please add a digital dash to the game, because it's like that in real life, and I don't know why it's not like that in this game. The only thing they added in DLC was a little thing where it shows the miles per hour thing in cockpit. That's not enough. We need an actual digital dash. I don't know why it was not in this game, but please add it for future ones. It would add more to make it feel like, feel more in tune with NASCAR. Please add an in-car track bar adjustment to the cars themselves. It's like that in real life, and it's not in this game. They admitted that when they were first making it, but please add that in there, because it is a part of NASCAR, so that would be very nice to have that in there. Now, this might be asking for too much, but please add a paint booth in the game so people can create and customize whatever car they want. That would be something very nice to have. Please include having the option to add in your name for career mode instead of your gamer tag. If you want it to be Fred Fox, then have it be Fred Fox. Have the option to be able to name your character. Also, more options for numbers to pick from. I don't care what the excuse was, it needs to be there. Have every number available that's not coinciding with the real life NASCAR drivers, and let them use it. For only being able to pick for 4 numbers is just ridiculous. Please also fix the rubber banding in career mode. Have an option to either have it on or off, and it would make career mode more worthwhile. Because it's ridiculous when you're going through a pit cycle and you move up to the field, and then the game will just rubber band you and have the cars that were behind you all of a sudden just rocket past you because the game determines that you shouldn't be in that spot. Stuff like that breaks career mode, and it just should not be in the game, or it should be an option to either switch it on or off. Though in a race now you can go to 105 difficulty and then there will be no rubber banding, but still in career mode there should be that option to either have it on or off, and that should be something that needs to be fixed in this next game for career mode. Please. That's all the things I can think of right now. If there's anything else I'm missing, please let 704 Games know things that need to be changed or added into this game. This game is lacking so much stuff, and I hope that they're going to change this and make it more worthwhile. A lot of things I mentioned are just basic things, so they can implement these things into the game. We need to stand together. We need to make our voices heard, whether if it's a big YouTube channel, a small YouTube channel, anybody out there in the racing like NASCAR community. We need to speak up, make a video addressing this stuff, and just let them know they can't get away with this. We've been dealing with subpar, mediocre stuff since 2011, or some people would say since 2007 or 2008, but we've been dealing with just lacking things in these games for so damn long. We need somebody to speak up, and I'm glad I want to be one of those people, and I really and highly encourage more people to do so in the future. It is very important to do so this next NASCAR game can have more things to it. I'm not asking for a revolutionary, game-changing type of game. I'm not asking to reinvigorate, reimagine the whole racing genre thing. It's just we need things in this game that should be in there. Games from 15 years ago have had it. Why can't we do it today? This game is only 8 gigabytes worth in size, and it's a very small filed game. There is no ifs, ands, or buts around it. Stuff like Forza F1, they're 30 plus gigs or more. So it needs to be more in depth. There needs to be more things to this next game. We need to speak up. So thank you for watching if you listened, and I hope this was enjoyable. I hope people will really, get their voices heard. And please don't harass these guys. Just politely link them this video or your video and just say, this is things we need in the next NASCAR game. I'm encouraging you and everybody to not be rude about it. Please be respectful as much as I can, or we can in this case. So yes, thank you for watching. I'll see you all later, and as always, have a good day, everyone.